Now I would like to introduce our youngest boys here tonight, Dara and Colm, and they're going to play music with their granddad. And now we have Colm going to play us on his tin whistle, Hot Cross Buns.
Twould come surely to pass. I dreamt while the tears down my pillow were rolling that Teddy was courting another fair lass. And didn't I awake with a weeping and a wailing, pain in my heart was too deep to conceal. My mother cried, Nora, dear, what is your ailing? But all I could answer was Teddy O'Neill. I see the old cabin beyond the wee boring. I see the old crossroads where we used to dance. I've rambled the lane where he called me his story, and my girlish heart felt the thrill of romance. And now all around is so sad and so dreary, all dark and all silent, no piper nor reel, not even the sun through the casement shines cheery, since I left my darling by Teddy O'Neill. Shall I ever forget when the big ship was ready, the time it was come for my love to depart? How I cried like a child, oh, goodbye to you, Teddy, with a tear on my cheek and a stone on my heart. He said it was better, his fate it went roving, but what would be gold to the joy I would feel if he'd only come back to me tender and loving, yet poor but my own darling Teddy O'Neill.
There we had some traditional music played by Connie Welsh, Sam O'Brien and Mick Looney. Thank you very much. And now we're going to have Norma Caulfield for a song. Oscailga, I think. Oscailga.
Saliaf galgona fela is for the wooting in me he kosh kwan mener go trail up favron until of your hefty dear make us tear my cleva Saliaf gal go on the fela knock here mishkihol Shemalin na forest togant Elaine is more chudolish Ingelen usel kjover Bejolta im vel The raving courtar sala Is the whoring boar barchut Marat lief gal go bevralum To dar the charame Magras a haun na disha Dear van the clown the sleta Oh haun is known her train ver Tam trech the ganvri Akobala die meglechas Malon se sheer go heron Agus lon lesh liv na fela Les er jan omkri
Knock for another song, all the way from Wicklow.
Got a maha good.
Fáilte.
At Christmas time, long, long ago, I heard all people say, when tyrant rule was at its worst, and Cromwell's troops held sway, a valiant priest laid down his life for faith and fatherland in a place known as Tom Highgard, not far from Linkstown Strand. The year was 1653 when priests were hunted down and murdered without mercy wherever they were found. As Father Nicholas Myler called upon his faithful flock to assist him at the Holy Mass upon the old Mass Rock. It was early Christmas morning, to the fortnight they were bound. The bright stars twinkled overhead as they knelt upon the ground, not fearing any danger that might come their way, for they had a duty to perform for this was Christmas Day. When Mass was almost ended, and all prepared to go, to reach their homes before the dawn, and so out with the foe. As Father Milo raised his hand, his final words to say, God bless and keep you in his care on this grand Christmas there. Just then a warning voice was heard, there's movement in the glen. Prepare to flee and save yourselves. I fear it's Cromwell's men. Pray save the chalice, cried the priest, before you go away. Pray save it from those violent men. You'll need it yet someday. Brave Mrs. Lambert volunteered. The chalice she would shield. She wrapped it in her apron white. To them she'd never yield. And then a musket shot rang out. It filled their hearts with fear. Their noble priest fell to the ground. No more his voice they'd hear. They laid him in the old churchyard, where pilgrims come and go, by the holy wells of Anne and James, where healing waters flow. And the miler's chalice in the church is there for all to see, and treasured with a burning love for all eternity.
And now we call on Dennis Lucy for a song.
This is a song I got from Connie Walsh about 10 or 12 years ago, I suppose. Oh, my name it is Dick Barry, and at masoning I cut capers. I built a chapel in Auchrast, though I never got my papers. I worked for Easton Canavy in Kanturk for Paddy Carey, and I called to Sweet Kilbarry where I worked with Mick O'Leary. Agus Gomarish and Cruishkin is big shell on. I worked for old George Nicholas and for Johnny Lynch like fury, and I motored to Cork City to put a chimney on Murphy's Brewery. I built houses for the artist, for the brewer and the distiller, and I took the train to Dublin to plaster Nelson's pillar. Agus Gomarish and Cruishkin is big shell on. I put an addition to the courthouse, and likewise the asylum, because the corporation feared some other botch would spoil 'em. I built all the finest houses from Queenstown into Bandon, and I built the Tower of Splendour where tolls the bells of Shandon. Agus Gomarish and Cruishkin is big shell on. And then to cut a caper and surprise the Irish people, I motored off to Castletown to finish Kenneth Steeple. But then the war was raging, they were killing men like blazes, and I worked with trowel and hammer to keep out those foreign nations. Agus Gomarish and Cruishkin is big shell on. When I heard of Moni's pillars that were knocked one time by Graham, I built a pair of pillars and the devil wouldn't knock 'em. To me they'll be a credit and they'll live for generations, and there'll be no need of inspection for a sergeant or a bailiff. Agus Gamarishan Krushkin is big Shelon. And now the weather is getting bad, and masoning it is dreary, so I'll cycle to the shore to learn Irish from Aunt Mary. 'Tis there I'll do her counsel with Paddy, Mike and Nelis, but Jack is wild and airy, I'm afraid that he will fail us. Agus Gamarishan Krushkin is big Shelon. And now we are so much in love, myself and Eileen Mary, so we'll build a house next summer back near Shortens, Ballingarry. 'Tis there we'll raise a family, there'll be a credit to the nation, and whatever their vocation, sure one must be a mason. Agus Gamarishan Krushkin is big Shelon.
Well done. Good Margaret. And now we have Mary Collins. She's going to give us a song. Thanks, Mary.
Okay. If you can join in the chorus too, that would be great. 'Twas early in the month of June when first I met my own garsoon. The fairest man in all Macroom was Rory Oak McRory. Rory here and Rory there, rollicking Rory everywhere. As wild as a musher and mountain hare was Rory Oak McRory. He took me to the fairy dell, the same o' words he did tell. I love the ground you walk on, Nell, said Rory Oak McRory. Rory here and Rory there, rollicking Rory everywhere. As wild as a musher and mountain hare was Rory Oak McRory. He took me to Killorglin Fair, the Kerrymen were dancing there, but divil a one you would compare to Rory Oak McRory. He danced the blackbird Kerry style, and you should see the collie smile, but I kept watching all the while, for fear they'd steal my Rory. Rory here and Rory there, rollicking Rory everywhere. As wild as a musher and mountain hare was Rory Oak McRory. Then Father Dan made us run, he said, God bless you, girls and sons. May all your troubles be little ones, oh Rory Oak McRory. Years gone by, our love's complete, 'cause dancing round and round our feet are Con and Dan and Kate and Pete, and the baby's name is Rory. Rory here and Rory there, rollicking Rory everywhere. As wild as a musher and mountain hare was Rory Oak McRory. Sinead.
Well done, Mary. Thank you. And now we're calling on Sam and Mick to give us a few songs. Thanks, lads.
So they're flying them back to the Mexican border to take all their money to get back again. So farewell to my friends, goodbye Rosalita, adios mis amigos, eso se Maria. You won't have a name when you fly the big aeroplane. All they will call you will be deportees. The sky plane took fire over Las Gatas Canyon. The fireball lit up, it shook the hills round. Oh, who are those friends who are scattered like dry leaves? The radio said they were just deportees. So farewell to my friends, goodbye Rosalita, adios mis amigos, eso se Maria. You won't have a name when you fly the big aeroplane. All they will call you will be deportees. Is this the best way to till our good orchards? Is this the best way we can grow our good fruit? To lie on the ground, to rot beneath the topsoil, and never know no name except to eat our teas. So farewell to my friends, goodbye Rosalita, adios mis amigos, eso se Maria. You won't have a name when you fly the big arrow. All you will be deported. Some of us were illegal and some were not wanted. Our work contract's finished, we've got to move on. It's 600 miles to the Mexican border. They chase us like rustlers, like outlaws, like thieves. So farewell to my friends, goodbye Rosalita, adios mis amigos, eso se Maria. You won't have a name when you fly the big arrow. All you will be deported.
Bhí sé sin go háling an fad.
Dormagu.
Are we having a song? What?
Sing away, children.
I will so. I get the Shower on vi kommer dollar skoj. Det blir inte å hin. Ekvelkele gorke ikkje tammel, det blir inte å hin. Vi farer en male, dar vennen da will. Vi sjefrenes konker, gan kursnu, gan klamper. Da korsnen og morkik, da will maken ill. She dirk sheriff, is a kind or a veak, gur sprún le hamata gan bihi gan di. Ach I deri sa shupa gur shir gahalofa, gan besa dravunta fiu banacht nar hill. Di-I-di-dum-do, di-I-di-dum-di, di-I-di-dum-do-dum, di-I-di-dum-di. Sure the vemish gan pluris gan teis gan shukra, is can't fuss a deal of not crino for kill. Di-I-di-dum-do, di-I-di-dum-di, di-I-di-dum-do-dum, di-I-di-dum-di. Sure the vemish gan pluris gan teis gan shukra, is can't fuss a deal of not crino for kill. Tasha go desk got it, she did. Oh, John Walsh is now going to give us a song about the pain things. Thank you, John.
Now you've heard about these paintings that were taken up near Dublin. For 6 long days the whole affair, the Garda force was troubling. Every Garda with distinction and with deeds of acclamation. were taken for a special course up to a Dublin station. Agus Jogan me John Krushki, Agus Beag Shellon. They were given all the details there and issued with description, and 'twas guaranteed that from our ports there would be no deflection. They searched the country up and down from Blessington to Limerick, and when interviewed they said, we think they're still in the Republic. Agus Jogan me Sean Krushki, Agus Beag Shellon. But in West Cork we had 2 guards, though not considered cutie. They were left there in Rosscarbery to attend to routine duties, to unassuming officers, light-hearted, free and airy. They were Gordon Willie Creedon and Sergeant Pat O'Leary, Agus Jogan me Sean Krushki, and Agus Beag Shellon. Now these guards got information, but the message could be plainer, that in Gloundave a bull was kept by a bold Sinn Féiner. They went to Hayes's rented house, a lady there to greet him, but she said she never kept a bull, for she would never need them. Agus Jogan me on Krushki, Agus Beag Shellon. Well, the Garda nudged the sergeant's side, and the sergeant looked at Creedon, saying, I know we're both suspicious, but suspicion's in our breeding. Whilst I know the top detectives now are searching coastal waters, there's something in our woman here. I'd like to search her headquarters. Agus Jogan me Sean Krushki, and Agus Beag Shellon. Well, they searched the house that evening, and they found 3 wanted paintings by Japers Archer Creedon now that must improve our rating. They walked around the house outside, sure nothing could be finer, when they found the other 16 gems in Hayes's Morris Minor. Agus Jogan me on Krushki, and Agus Beag Shellon. Well, they rang the chief commissioner and told him of their findings, the condition of the paintings, and where they were in hiding. Gloundave, said the commissioner, 'tisn't on my map at all, men. You're a look against Sir Creedon, it's here near Union Hall then. Agus Jogan me Sean Krushki, and Agus Beag Shellon. So here's a health to these 2 guards, long life and success to them. They may not be detectives, but they surely know these women. I hope they'll be promoted and be honoured by our nation. I'd like to see them presidents of some type of coalition. Agus Jogan me Sean Krushki, and Agus Beag Shellon. Shinna will.
Oh, you maids of dew, hello, we're anxious for courting. A word of advice I will give unto you. Proceed to Bantier to the athletics sporting, and hand in your names to the club committee. And never commence any skits on your programme till the carriage you see flying over the hill, right down through the valleys and glens of Kilcorn, with our own darling sportsman, the bold Taily Quill. For rambling Oh, and all your days roving you find and so jovial as the Muskerry sportsman, the bone-tailed of the great hurling match between Cork and Tipperary was played in the park on the banks of the Lee. Our own darling lads were afraid of being beaten, so they sent for Baltady to Ballinree. He hurled the ball right, left in their faces and showed the Tipperary men action and skill. If they touched on his lines, he would certainly brain. And the papers were full of the Baltady coup, for round and for roving, for football and sport, for drinking black porter as fast as you feel. Oh, and all your days roving you'll find and so jovial as the Muskerry sportsman, the Baltady coup. Exhibition there was a fair lady whose fortune exceeded $1,000,000 or more, but a bad constitution had ruined her completely, and medical treatment had failed door and door. Her mother says she, sure I know what will ease me and cure this disease that will certainly kill. Give over your doctors and medical treatment. I'd rather one squeeze of the Baltady quill, for rambling, for roving, for football and sport, for drinking black porter as fast as you feel. Oh, and all your days roving you find and so jovial as the Muskerry sportsman, the Baltady quill, for rambling, for roving, for football and sport, for drinking black porter as fast as you feel. Oh, and all your days roving you find and so jovial as the Muskerry sportsman, the Baltady Old Ellis Island was forming like a scene from a costume ball, picked up in the colors of Europe, on fire with the hope of it all. There my father's own father stood huddled, with the tired and the hungry and scared. Turn of the century pilgrims, bound by the dreams that they shared. They were standing in line just like cattle, poked and sorted and shoved. Some were one desk away from sweet freedom, some were torn from someone they loved. Through the sprawling towers of Babel came a young man confused and alone, determined and bound for America, carrying everything that they own. Times when I look in my grandfather's immigrant eyes, I see that they're reflected, can't hold my feelings inside. Starting with nothing and working hard all of this life. So don't take it for granted, grandfather's immigrant eyes. Now he rocks and he stares out the window, but his eyes are still just as clear as the day that he sailed through the harbor, came aboard on the island of tears. My grandfather's days, they are numbered, but I won't let his memory die. Gave me the gift of his country and the look in his immigrant eyes. Times when I look in my grandfather's immigrant eyes, I see that they reflected and told my feelings inside. Starting with nothing and working hard out of this. So don't take it for granted, it's the grandfather's immigrant eyes. Times when I look in my grandfather's immigrant eyes, I see that they reflected and told my feelings inside. Starting with nothing and working hard out of his life. So don't take it for granted, it's the grandfather's immigrant eyes. Old Ellis Island was swarming like a scene from a costume ball, picked up in the colors of Europe, on fire with the hope of it all. There my father's own father stood huddled, with the tired and the hungry and scared. Turn of the century pilgrim, bound by the dreams that they shared. They were standing in line just like cattle, bold and sorted and shoved. One desk away from sweet freedom, some were torn from someone they loved. Through the sprawling towers of Babel came a young man confused and alone, determined and bound for America, carrying See, nothing reflected can't hold my feelings inside. Starting with nothing and working hard all of years like. So don't take it for granted, as a grandfather said. Don't take it for granted, as a grandfather said. Thank you.
Now we have Siobhan and Noreen to sing The Habit Shirt. Thank you, ladies.
The Casa Kalinjasarum, vi banul mashul glesta, vi pyre gloves is hot there, is habit shirt ganeta. Vi stuck I linga granter, is fine era meras, nor hookus a good morrow ye, shedurchi hookish tehach. She Donald Cowman Farrer is smaller in airing. The hook and bowery and ten of though is queer go Markela. On van the bars a crinner reef, not for she far in airing. Is fair not reven hot there, no habit shirt in neger. Olik chef in dat kopperrucht, a hekker vjölkan efucht, natursha eiger arrera, ta vatse tyrgan kela. Fech mar agif Hercules, Hector agus Caesar, Simonani reven hotter, na habit shirt in necher.
Oh, Tarokan, and it's the folk again.
I have notes because they might forget.
No, we'll call on Dennis for another song. Thank you very much, Dennis.
This is called The Reluctant Apprentice. I got this from the singing of Rosie Stewart from the North of Ireland. When I was a young apprentice and less than compass mentis, I took leave of all my senses with a maid I fell in love. Her ringlet so entwined me, Aphrodite smiled it blind me. Cupid's arrow struck behind me and her father owned a pub. And it was there I met my menaces in her father's licensed premises. Like a seraphim of Genesis sat Mary Ann Maguire, a rare and fine apparel, astride a porter barrel. She looked the sort of girl that would fill me with desire. Well, the turtle doves were cooing as I took to my wooing, her loveliness pursuing in the springtime of the year. But she thought I should be older, more gallant and much bolder, in the uniform of a soldier, and 'tis then she'd hold me dear. In extremis and euphoria, I joined with Queen Victoria, for a spell of death or gloria, a fighting with the Boers. To the winds I threw all caution, I'd return with fame and fortune, and together mix a portion of matrimony's chores. On the gravestone of her mother, she swore she loved no other, but soon I discovered that she played me for a birk. For lady luck had beached me and intelligence had reached me. While I was overseas, she had married to a Turk. Well, 'twas then that I deserted to find the girl who flirted. Back to Ireland I reverted because my jealousy was roused. And in Maguire's pub in Derry I found him making merry, with his arms around my Mary as together they caroused. Well, I took my time and waited until his thirst had sated, as home they navigated through the streets of Derry town. At his lodgings he stood knocking, and while they were unlocking, I put a stone into a stocking, on his head I brought it down. Well, 'twas then the night's serenity was rent with loud obscenity, like autumn and profanity that I couldn't understand. With an oath he made to grab me, and with some intent to stab me, and as he tried to kebab me, I went screaming down the strand. All around the town's perimeter he chased me with a scimitar, a powerful passion limiter to an earnest in his pride. To the waterside he chased me, to the bridge at Fight he raced me. At Derry Quay he faced me, so I jumped into the tide. Well, no bravery's no virtue when some heathens out to hurt you, and all noble thoughts desert you when you see a curly knife. There are many things worth trying for, occasionally worth lying for, but there's nothing worth dying for, so I'll stick with a single life. Thank you.